much, but there's a point in it where a leader of the KKK, was it a KKK rally? Oh no, a Nazi, so National Socialist rally in America. And he was like, in some ways I would say I'm like Martin Luther King. I'm like, what?
Hello everyone and welcome to the Fat Podcast. I'm Jay. I'm with my boy again. How you doing, bruh?
I'm alright, you?
Yeah, not too bad. You gonna say your name?
My name is Zachariah Machach.
It is. So, I think we should kick it straight into fatness gear, bro. How was your week? How has your week been?
I prefer not to discuss that, actually. Let's not.
Well, so Zach has actually already told me his weight loss, but that was like 4 days ago.
It was Tuesday.
So and I said that I am now going to keep, with Zach, you got to do this as well, going to keep our weight loss or gain reveals for the pod. So Zach doesn't know how much I've lost, but I knew how much you lost as of Tuesday. Yes. So, how much is that, bro?
Okay, so tell them what I said to you on Tuesday.
Well, you told me you were now down to 102.
Yes.
And the first time we did the pod, the second time we did the pod, you'd got down to 103.3. Yep. So now you're down to 102, so you lost 1.3 kilograms.
Yep.
Right? Is that still the case?
Yes, but what did I do yesterday, Jay?
Don't know. What did you do yesterday?
I sent you a photo of what I did yesterday.
You told me that was only for Elle. His girlfriend.
I said that she got it. I didn't say that I had anything.
You useless. Guys,
basically.
You can't lose weight consistently if you keep buying takeaways.
You're very correct. Listen to Papa J. He speaks true.
It's the truth.
But anyway, yeah, so I did that naughty thing yesterday. What
did you have, Nando's?
It was Frankie and Benny's because they're back open again.
You know how much I like Frankie and Benny's as well. Just
true.
Destroying me.
So awesome. Well, if it helps you at all, It was a huge mistake and I'll never do it again.
Why? Did it taste a bit nasty?
No, it was delicious, but now I weighed myself this morning and I'm 103.
Oh, that wouldn't be down to that one fucking kilogram, that one meal though. So what have you been doing?
I just think I'm still carrying the guilt.
Shame?
And it's heavy. Shame? It's a heavy guilt that I'm carrying with me.
So technically, your week's weight loss is 0.3 of a kilogram now.
Yeah, well, it's still a loss. Fuck it.
It's still a loss. It is. Still in complete and utter contrast to what you've just said, my week was absolutely fucking brilliant, right? And hold on to something, because you ain't gonna fucking believe this shit, right? You bracing yourself.
I'm bracing. I'm holding on to my nasal inhaler.
Right. I weighed Tuesday, and I had lost 6 pounds. Boom, which is about 2.7 kilograms.
God damn.
You can't hear you. There you go. You're speaking too quiet. Right, yeah. I couldn't believe it. And on top of that 1 pound I lost a week prior, I'm now half a stone gone. 2 weeks. Absolutely awesome. I totally smashed it. My plan up here, because it is also today my fast day as well, because we always do the pod on one of my fast days. So yeah, mixing Slimming World with fasting seems to be pretty sick. And when I had my Slimming World meeting, everyone was just like in disbelief. They were just like, what? Because they're like, so what do you do for the other days? And I was like, well, I went on the app, because some foods are they're called free, and then others are like sins and shit, right? So I was like, instead of counting my sins, because that is going to become tedious motherfucking shit, right? I was like, I'll just go through and find all the foods that are free, and I'll live a sin-free diet, right?
Yeah.
So I made a plan where, because I'm allowed something ridiculous, like 28 fucking sins a day or some shit like that, right?
Yeah.
So what I do is my breakfast bar in the morning counts as 2 sins.
Yeah.
So that's the only sins I have all day. Other than that, everything is sin-free on every single day. So I don't even have to track it. So they're just like, and they're like, how the hell did you do that? So I like showed them all the different like recipes and stuff, and they were just like, oh my god, they are all fucking sin-free and shit. So yeah, that plus fasting 2 days a week seems to be like smashing the weight off, smashing it. And the thing is, I haven't been on a walk at all in 2 weeks, which is usually something I do in conjunction with my weight loss. I usually do, which I'm gonna do. The reason I haven't been doing that is because of my ear infection. I'm walking for an hour without headphones on. Fucking nightmare shit right there. That is nightmare shit.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah. So that was pretty cool. So I'm as of right now, well, as of Tuesday, minus 7 pounds or 2.7 kilograms.
That's damn good. You sent me a message on Tuesday, and you said all I can say is, and then you sent a GIF of a guy going bruh.
Yeah.
I was like,
that's exactly what I said when I stood on the scale. I was like, bruh. I did it twice because I was like, bro. But I got like, and I am 0.1 away from in 1 week losing a whole BMI point. I lost 0.9 BMI.
That's pretty sick.
Which is pretty good, you know? So yeah, buzzing with that. Buzzing. So Zachariah Macharch. Right?
Yeah.
What are you going to do this week to sort your shit, boy?
It's a good point. And I have no idea. Maybe...
I got a challenge for you.
Hit me with a challenge. I love a good challenge. Come on, hit me.
You going to accept it?
But I need to know what the challenge is first.
It's not what I asked.
Okay, I have a challenge for you. You going to accept it?
Yeah. So, because it's realistic. As long as it's realistic.
Fucking bullshit.
No, but listen to my challenge and you'll understand what I call realistic.
Define realistic, right? Because... Okay, fine, okay. Right, hit me.
Right? So my challenge to you, is I want you to work out 4 times this week, right? For 30 minutes. Yeah? At least. You can do more, but at least 30 minutes. So until the next pod, 30 minutes for at least 4 days. Yeah? Right?
Okay.
You can do more, but you can't do less. And 2, and the biggest thing, I want you to cook 7 days in a row.
Do I have to cook personally, or does food have to be cooked?
Yes, you have to cook personally 7 days in a row.
Do I have to cook?
Want pictures of you cooking.
Do I have to cook
every day?
Din-dins? Or can I just be cooking at some point in the day?
No, you have to cook dinner. Whatever your 5 or 6 o'clock meal is, you have to cook that for 7 days.
It's going to be 7 days of pasta then. I hope you realize
that. That's fine. That's fine, because as long as you're eating pasta, you ain't eating burgers from Frankie and Bennett's, are you?
It's not burgers, it's wraps, you know me.
I know. Just wrong. But, yeah, for 7 days. And that is your challenge this week.
Okay.
That's what I mean by realistic.
You don't understand how much I hate cooking. I hate cooking with such a passion. It's insane.
You don't do it enough.
Yeah.
Do something enough and you'll learn to love that shit.
I accept your challenge.
You know what I mean?
I hope you know that is not... That's a very difficult thing for me, considering how much I hate cooking.
It's realistic, though.
I respect cooking.
For a human being of your weight and intelligence.
Okay.
Okay?
Are you ready for my challenge to you?
Yeah. Hit me!
This week.
Yeah.
You have to be completely vegan. 1 challenge, that's it.
That's not realistic, though.
Why is it not realistic?
Because I do shopping. My shopping comes on a Friday, so...
Okay, so this is not going to be this week's challenge, but the week after's.
If I can change the shop, I'll do it. Because I don't shop. The girlfriend shops.
Okay, so when's this shop come?
Well, we have to... Because we subscribe, we do 2 lots of shopping in advance. So I can do that challenge in 2.5 weeks. So what's my challenge this week?
Okay. That's a good question. I would say
I don't know what. No, carry on. I'll say after. What's my challenge this week?
this week
Yeah.
you have to do some kind of strength training.
Yeah.
30 minutes a day, every day.
Yeah. Strength training for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Can I do different
It can
body
be-
parts?
Yeah, so it can be like, yeah, exactly. So, and it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be like 30 minutes.
Because I was about to say, if I do like arms for like a straight 30 minutes, I think I'll die.
No. So what, like, and even that, so if you're going to do, I don't know, heavy sets of whatever, like, I guess, full
Or
push-ups.
squats, strength training.
Technically, they're calisthenics.
Okay.
But yes,
Yeah.
kind of. So they can
Because
build, they
I
can build strength.
want to get into them because I have no behind.
No,
which-
be
Like me and Zach, we live in two different worlds when it comes to our rear ends, man.
Yeah.
Like I've no ass. Zach has too much.
It's true.
We can meet somewhere in the middle. We'd be pretty lit, you
I'm
know.
perfectly willing to share, but unfortunately, it doesn't work out that way.
You know.
Yeah,
So 4 days a week, like you.
7 days, because you only got one challenge. I got two. Gonna make it hard, bruh.
You can give me another one.
I can't think of another one. My main was a veganism thing. So
Right. Okay. So now that's fine. Deal.
okay,
Deal.
actually, wait.
Yeah.
No. 4 days a week of 30 minutes,
Yeah.
but you can't have any milk in your coffees for the next week.
Done.
Boom.
Done, mate. Done.
You're just not gonna have coffees, are you?
No, I will have coffees because especially on my fast days, they are invaluable, right? So, but yeah, which I thank you for that. That was good shit. Black coffees. But yeah, that's cool. But what I will say, what exactly do I gain from doing a vegan challenge?
One,
You gain, there's monetary savings in my challenge for you. It's vastly healthier for you. And yeah, you learn a good skill that you may carry on in the future. What about me?
well, one,
Other than torture.
one, you realize that there are other ways to live besides the way that you're living now.
Well, I know that. I'm doing a diet.
Two, it's a level of discipline that you haven't had before,
Right.
which is valuable.
Okay.
Come on, Jocko and Goggins would say that's true,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Those are my main two there. I'm just saying.
And just those two.
And three,
Right.
you might find that diet possibly agrees with. You might feel as though in the week you're feeling stronger or healthier or whatever.
I feel a shit ton weaker within a day.
You really might. You really might. I mean, I've tried. I've tried veganism a few times.
Pasta's
Now.
vegan, innit?
Yes, depending on
sorted.
which.
I'm
pasta.
sorted. I'm sorted.
Gotta make sure though. Some pesto isn't vegan, which is sad.
I don't like pesto.
You're a fucking fool.
Pesto's nice to make. It'll be tomato and basil sauce. That all it be. Tomato and basil sauce. Pasta. Oh, I can't have cheese. What the fuck? Pasta without cheese. What is this satanic shit right there, man?
I will.
Fuck.
I will allow you one concession on your veganism if you choose to accept it. I will
No.
allow. I will allow
No.
you honey if you need.
No. No.
Right.
Sweetness isn't really a thing for me because I don't have added sugar anyway. So
Yes.
I
Yeah,
don't. It's not a thing for me.
And if you're having black coffee and sugar doesn't really make a lot of sense.
But yeah, that's fine. But it also bleeds into my first point was one of our things was challenges question mark. We gonna do these? Yes, we are gonna do these. And some of them will include videos on the channel. So we'll like document them. I might do it this time. Let's both do it, right? Document this challenge, yeah? So my challenge for this week is strength exercises
4 times a week
4 times a week.
and no milk coffees or no
no
milk. Yeah.
No
milk.
milk.
In drinks. So no milky tea.
That
Bro.
I can't do.
Why?
Because on my Slimming World diet, they're my two things. I have to drink 250 ml glasses of milk, one in the morning, one in the evening.
That's fine. I'll allow that. That's fine.
Yeah? that right? But I won't have any in my. I won't have any
So
in
you
my.
can't have it. Yeah, you can't have added milk. I guess milk in itself is
no,
fine.
no more than those two. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, cool. So I'll try and film some of that stuff because I get like the downstairs all to myself now anyway because of how we work, because of how me and Ruth work. So
Does that mean you can't go to the bathroom throughout your entire workday?
no. So I have the front room. She has the bedroom.
Yep.
Everything in between, communal space.
Neutral ground. I get you.
Yeah. So yeah. Right. So one thing we missed off last week, which I wanted to talk about but totally forgot. And that is antidepressant talk. You put this in our Trello.
I did.
So sertraline, 100 milligrams SSRI, weight loss, demotivational question mark. And
paradoxical.
Am I depressed? Question mark / Is it causing me to be more low-level depressed for a longer period? This is my fault, not the doctor's. At least I think. Expand on that. Micharch.
That was a lot of word vomit right there.
That was a lot of waffle, mate.
Yeah. So I am on antidepressants at the moment.
Yeah.
So 100 milligrams sertraline.
Yeah.
Don't know if I should go that specific, but whatever.
You read it, not me.
True.
You read it.
So the dosage is up from 50 milligrams that I was on for the past around about a year now.
Yeah.
I upped my dosage, I think, last month, just because I was having trouble just dealing with life.
Yeah.
I realized you can pretty much track. I'm not blaming the meds for this, or all the doctors.
Yeah.
But you can pretty much track my dramatic increase in weight to the beginning of me using antidepressants. And I'm not sure if it's even remotely correlated or not. Because I was going on Google and stuff, and I was like, is weight gain and like increased appetite a symptom of using these antidepressants? And it was yes. But then it was also the symptoms are lack of appetite, weight loss. I'm like, what?
It's kind of, but it's like that thing, innit? Doctors always say like try your hardest not to Google your symptoms because it'll say you're dying. It will always say you're dying of something. But yeah, you say that, but is it like you can track your dramatic weight loss from when you
weight gain
got given your meds, right? But surely that also correlates to you've dramatically put on weight since you got depressed.
Yeah. So I put on a bit of weight from before I put on a bit of weight in the like, I don't know, 6 months prior to me starting the antidepressants, but it was the usual amount of weight that I would usually put on anyway. Like my max, we talked about this last podcast. My max cap was like 88 kg. Yeah. Like I wouldn't seem to go above that. And obviously now I'm 103. So something's happened.
Yeah.
I've never, obviously it's correlation, not causation. I can't say that this is exactly what's doing it. Maybe something else linked to it is, or maybe something about my lifestyle when I'm on antidepressants has changed. And in fairness, especially in the last 4 months now, I haven't walked at lunch because I haven't been next to a massive park like I would be at work.
Yeah.
I haven't just walked around work. My work is 6 feet away from my bed. So these are additional factors, but I've been around 100 for the past, gosh. I was 95 when we were still in the office, and that was still, 7 kilograms above anything I've seen before.
Yeah.
And that was me starting the job. And that was like 4 months into me being on the meds.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm not sure.
See, like, I have no background in this, like at all. So I couldn't say. But like, I don't think weight loss is a symptom. I think because I know how much
weight loss or weight gain
takeaway food you eat.
But the thing is, I used to eat the same amount, or if not more.
Nah.
Before, honestly, I did. If you ask any member of my family that I live with, right,
Right.
and ask them, hey, has Zach been eating less takeaway? They would say yes, compared to, I don't know, this time last year. They'd say yes.
I go, yeah, but his takeaways, how large are they when they arrive?
Is it bigger?
Yeah,
less
where they
frequent.
used to bring one little box of rice, are they now bringing a double handbag like into the house? You know what I mean?
Still, okay, let's say I half the amount that I'm doing, but I double the portions.
Yeah.
It's still the same, isn't it?
I would say my mind wants to say no, they're not correlating. Stop looking for a connection. Just accept you fucked up.
You fucked up.
You're now a fat boy. You now got to stop being a fat boy. You know?
It's difficult.
Don't play the blame game. If you're gonna play the blame game, just look in the mirror. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'd say.
No,
but this leads into our different approaches to losing weight. Where I say a little bit of self-hatred goes a long way.
A little bit of Monica in my life.
Yeah, a little bit of Angela by my side. You know?
A little bit of Rita's all I need.
I think, yeah, that's what I want to say, but a doctor may completely disagree with me.
True. And
Have you asked
this
specific question?
To my doctor?
Yeah.
Do I say that my
I'm going to say no.
Do I say
you go, Doc, are my pills making me a chubby chubs?
And he's like...
And when he says, don't be silly, Mitch, you got your answer.
Maybe what I need is a prescription for like ADHD medication, which is basically methamphetamine, to balance out the weight gain and the weight loss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Just get some methamphetamine.
Instead of solving my problems from within, just add more drugs.
Get some blue crystal, innit?
Just add some more drugs into the system. That's a really good idea.
Exactly. Yeah. So on that point, I personally wouldn't think it was your...
Just a medical disclaimer, none of this should be taken as any kind of advice medically.
I want to make it known, I know nothing medically. Okay? So don't take our advice on this. We're just having a conversation. Yeah?
Yep.
Which brings me onto this. Right. So, in my old age, right?
Yeah.
Of nearly 30, you know.
Nearly 30, yeah.
I have become less patient when it comes to a conversation that isn't going to go anywhere, right? Or there's no leeway in what's happening. So I'll just leave. Like,
what do you mean by leeway in what's happening?
I'll just be like, peace out. Yeah,
right.
I'll go on to that, right? Because on here, we've put arguments and conversations. Yeah. Difference between arguments and conversations, right? Because over the last 2 weeks, me and Mitch Arch have had a fair few conversations on text, which have ended with me just going, whatever, can't be bothered, right?
Yeah.
Where usually in my younger days, I just keep going, you know, keep smacking my head against the wall, you know. But now, in my older and wiser days, I cannot be asked, you know. People aren't always going to agree with me, no matter how much I shout at them. So I can't be bothered to go any further. Right? And I know Zach well enough that neither is he. So I just go, peace. Right? But what is the most frustrating thing for me is that comes across on text to people as if I'm angry or pissed off. Right? Where I'm not, because I don't even class it as an argument. Because an argument entails that I'm trying to persuade you of something. But this is literally, when I've done that, it's not an argument because I understand that persuasion isn't a possibility. So it's therefore not an argument. So I just give up. There you go.
You done?
Yeah.
Okay. See, if I counter this point, then you can just say whatever, and then we don't reach a resolution. But no, I think one, I disagree with your. Okay, let me ask you a question. Can people change their opinions on things?
Yeah, but we're not talking about people in general.
Okay, can you change?
Or we are. Rather.
Have you ever changed your opinion on things?
Some people can change their opinion on a thing. Yeah, on a thing.
On a thing. Okay, right.
But the specific conversation we're having, you can't.
Why?
Or I can.
Why?
Right. So I can tell by the flow of the conversation. So I just go, can be asked. So, and I go, because I sit there and I go, look, I don't agree with this, and nothing's going to change that. Or nothing you've said up to this point is even close to changing that. And it's the same on the reverse side. So I'm just like, well, this is a pointless endeavor.
But it's not, though. Because
I'm going to save my finger energy from typing away on my Facebook Messenger and just chill and just relax. You know what I mean?
But it's not true, though, because I am capable of changing. Like we've talked about this on the last podcast. I used to be super left leaning. I almost used to be an SJW, for lack of a better term, right? Which is a social justice where you see quote unquote Karens and things like that on the internet, right? I used to be basically one of them.
Yeah.
And now I'm not. I'm way more right leaning. I like to think of myself as centrist, but I might lean slightly to the right, maybe, right?
Right.
And when I was a quote unquote SJW, right? I didn't think my opinion could change. But then it did.
Yeah. Through your own personal growth, not through
but through listening to other people and listening to other people and dissenting opinions.
Not through a 10-minute conversation, through a lifetime of learning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and we weren't talking about, whether we think some TV show is good or not. We were talking about racism. We were talking about, what's the other things we were talking about? We were talking about big issues. Big issues. We weren't talking about just everyday bollocks, right? We were talking about big issues. They that your thought pattern can't be changed in one conversation.
Okay. From what I remember, I don't entirely know how I went from being like basically an SJW to where I am now, which I hope is more central than anything else, or I don't really want to lean that far left or that far right? But it began with me, I don't know, watching a 5-minute YouTube video where someone had a dissenting opinion from what I thought was the norm. And I was like, bullshit, right? And then, but a tiny little part of it might have been true, or they might have debunked something that I always held true. Like, I don't know what I can and can't debunk because of, cancel culture right now and, people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, for example...
We'll get on to that.
Like, for example, the wage gap, right?
Yeah.
Complete bollocks. Women aren't paid less at the same job for men. Yeah. Right? It's the medium average earning for men and women, right? And it's not taking into account hours worked, different types of leave, and all other factors. It's just medium, right?
Yeah.
And what types of jobs. So from that, someone got women only make 70 cents for every dollar a man makes. It's not true. It's illegal.
Which caused a lot of shit. Yeah.
I mean, it's still things that people say. I don't understand how. There's no. Once again, it's something I used to believe was true. Yeah. Right? Fervently, I was like, yeah, fuck that shit, bitch. Right?
Fuck the system.
But then I watch a 5-minute video on YouTube that's like, yeah, that's bullshit. Here's why it's bullshit.
Was that 5-minute video of was it Jordan Peterson destroying someone?
No, but that did help. For those of you who don't know Jordan P. Peterson, look him up. He's really cool.
Just look him up.
Anyway, so it started with a small seed of, I might be slightly wrong on this, or I can maybe change my opinion, or maybe there's room for something other than the extreme value that I hold right now. So it only takes a seed to begin the change of something. It's perfect. We both watched Accidental Courtesy now, which is Daryl Davis's documentary, right?
Yeah.
I think that's how we probably got into the conversation of race and stuff.
Yeah.
But
I actually fell onto it for like 2 weeks straight. I don't know how.
It's been up and down. I think it's because of what's happening in the current climate.
Yeah, with BLM and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and that footballer kid or whatever.
Yeah.
What was I saying?
By changing your mind. And then you said,
exactly.
We watched Accidental Courtesy.
Like Daryl Davis said in that, like you can't expect to change someone's belief that they've had for a decade, 2 decades, 3 decades in a day. You can't do that. It's a slow process, and it starts with germinating a seed and then letting it grow. Some people, like in the documentary, said some of these people on their own realized for themselves that what they weren't doing was right just through having like a couple of conversations with him. Yeah. And it planted a seed in their mind. It was like, that's a bit weird. And then other people he had to keep talking to for years and years. And there was one guy that was, what was it? Wizard Knight? Yeah. And he was still in the clan, but he was just like,
He called him one of his best friends.
He got a certificate of friendship from
the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. Wow.
It's just nuts. Wow. It's just nuts.
A black man. Just
so you know. If you haven't seen Accidental Courtesy, it's on UK Amazon Prime. Yeah.
Like a fair few people have put it on YouTube as well.
Really?
You know what I mean? So yeah, but Accidental Courtesy, it is, whether you agree with what he's doing or not, it is one of the most bizarre and interesting things to watch unfold, because you're just looking at the screen and everything that's on it is wrong. You're just like, this is wrong. What is happening here? You know? Like it comes into what I said last week. I said I couldn't be Daryl Davis because I just do not have the patience nor the love for strangers as he does, right? So, like, and I said if they were racist, like some of them, what he says in front of me, there'd be fisticuffs. You know what I mean?
Fisticuffs. Yeah.
But yeah, at one moment, a white man, sits in front of him, not 2-3 foot from him, and tells him his wife and his marriage to his wife is an abomination.
No, it's
because he's a black man. What does he say?
Reprehensible.
Reprehensible. He says that him marrying a white woman is reprehensible. Oh, mate. I just felt the anger inside of me. But you look at Daryl Davis and he's just like...
Mate, he's cool as a cucumber. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's just like, why'd you say that? He's just like, why is it an abomination? You know? And then the guy can't answer him. Obviously can't answer him.
So he's just like, I don't want to talk to anyone.
Their answer is to state the obvious. They go, it's the mixing of the races. And Daryl's like, yeah, but why is that bad? I know that's what it is, but you're not explaining why that's bad.
There's also a point in it, I don't want to spoil too much, but there's a point in it where a leader of the KKK, was it a KKK rally? Oh no, a Nazi, so National Socialist rally in America. And he was like, in some ways I would say I'm like Martin Luther King. I'm like, what?
That was Shop. His name is Shep.
Something.
He's the leader of the National Socialist Party in America, or was the leader anyway. But yeah, so
did he leave?
Yeah, and he's no longer a racist bigot.
Really?
Or in public he isn't.
In public. So you still believe? So do you believe that everyone? We're going into the weeds here, but do you believe that everyone Daryl Davis changed? Didn't actually change?
No. That's not what I believe.
Okay.
I believe some people are capable of real change. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the majority of people are not.
Okay.
Yeah. So like he said, they've basically what brung this up was that Daryl Davis in the BLM community, of America. I'm unsure about anywhere else because he doesn't actually visit anywhere else in the documentary.
He visits Baltimore.
Yeah, but he goes to the BLM community in Baltimore, and to put it lightly, they fucking hate him, right? So, and he's like, and I said to Zach, I understand where they're coming from. I don't agree with them personally. That's not the side of the field that I play on.
And in fairness, I didn't say I didn't understand where they were coming from. I just said I don't agree.
Yeah,
It just makes me sad. That's the main thing.
So I understood where they're coming from, and Zach said why, and I explained the thought process that these people would be behind, because I have members of family that would be identical to that train of thought, right? So yeah, and that's where we came to, and I said, but the funniest thing about this conversation is this wasn't even my opinion, right? So I wasn't even talking. I was just talking on other people's opinion. I said, this is how it is, and this is why I couldn't continue the conversation, because it wasn't a argument, because I'm not trying to show you. I'm just trying to tell you what it is, and you can accept it or you can't, right? It was an argument, but as soon as you say the words, that's not an argument, I know the conversation's over, because in my head, all that signifies is we're having two different conversations.
There's different planes.
Because you think we're arguing, I think we're talking. You know?
Yeah, I get you.
So I'm just right, you think this is an argument, I'm done.
Because you were taking the position as to try and educate me on why you think they are like that, right? Why they dislike Daryl Davis, right? So you were taking that position. So I was asking you questions as if you were taking that position.
Yeah. And I answered them.
You didn't answer all of them.
I answered the ones that I knew.
Okay. Well,
I can't answer things I didn't know.
You didn't say, oh, bro, I don't know. You was like, I'm out. Bye.
I'm out. I'm done. So I just... Yeah, and like the other day, I saw one coming, and I was just like, I'm going to have a break just for a few hours, and I'll be back later. I just saw it on the horizon. I was like, this is going to end with me going, can't be fucked. And so I was like, I'm just going to do it early. Early.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about that?
It's frustrating. Because I'm like, I'm just genuinely trying to better my understanding of other people's positions, and you seem to have a very understanding and empathetic, deeper empathetic and understanding of the position of those that were in Baltimore, or how they would think. Yeah. So I was using you as the person to try and help.
Let's try to explain this.
Understand.
So, the BLM community in Baltimore hate Daryl Davis mainly because he's not on the side of the battle that they believe he should be, right? So instead, I put it in as I said in my words, the most opaque and simplest of ways possible. This won't be how they will word it. They will word it, right? But he's helping the white man. He's not helping the black man. Yeah, right. So he's spending his time helping the white man. And that's helping the white man to realize that the teachings and the hate he's doing are wrong, right? And getting out of the KKK. And in some of the people's cases, joining the fight against racism in another form, right? But they would prefer it if he was on their end of things, which fighting for and helping the black community rather than helping the white people stop hurting the black community, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so he was 1 degree removed too many.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
So one of the young kids who I think in the video, even though I understand where he's coming from, he just makes himself look like an idiot, right? Because he starts questioning Daryl Davis's intelligence, and it only takes you about 5 seconds to realize that Daryl Davis is a really smart person just by how he carries himself as a person.
Not to mention his insane ability to do what he does. I don't think anyone else can do what he does.
Yeah, as soon as they start doing that, I was like, you're about to lose. You're about to lose this thing. But yeah, so they question, they say, so Daryl, how many people have you changed or whatever? And he says, this is before the 200 mark, isn't it? He says about 100 or so. He says 100 or so people. And they say, how long you been doing that? And he says, since 85, I think he says, doesn't he? He says like 1985.
So like 20 years, something like that.
Yeah, and he's like, so you only managed to change 100 people in 20 years. And then they're like, because they're comparing it to, you know, the strides that the BLM movement have managed to do and legislation they've managed to bring in, which have helped thousands and thousands of people, you know? So in their head, his contribution, let's say, to it is fucking minuscule,
yeah,
right? But it's like, it's also like, right? Because it's like the BLM movement is millions of people, right? So imagine every single person in the BLM movement managed to convert even 40 racists.
Yeah.
You imagine the impact that would have if they managed. So if they had 1 million Daryl Davises,
yeah,
the contribution would be astronomical. And that's what he's trying to teach. He's like, if there was more people like me doing what I was doing, then there's a different battle to be fought, right? So, because this is what I mean, is I was just talking from the point of view of these guys that are in Baltimore. They're not actually my views, yeah? But I understand that is their views. I understand what that means. So I can't really have an argument about that because I'm telling you, this is what they believe. You can't question it because I don't have the answers to the questions that you ask them, you know?
But I'm just saying you took the station of this is what these people think.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well if they think that, why is this? But then you're like,
I just did what I do. I just did what I do with religion. You know,
right?
If there's someone who is massively atheistic and they want to argue about religion, I'll take the religious person's role in that conversation, right? And on the other end, I'll take the atheist role. Me personally, I'm an atheist. I'm not a radical atheist, but I am an atheist, right?
I love how you have to clarify that.
Yeah, there is a difference. There is a difference, right? Like, I don't class Richard Dawkins as a radical atheist, but my hero, Christopher Hitchens, would class Richard Dawkins as a radical atheist. But I think that's all I was trying to do, was give them more time in a really small sense of me and you having a conversation about it.
So
you know?
Can I ask you a question once again? I know you have topics you want to get onto, but why do you consider yourself an atheist and not agnostic?
Because I used to consider myself agnostic, and then, like, because I'm forgetting his name now. Basically, there's a saying that it's when you break it down into the simplest form, right? It is much better for you to be religious than it is to be non-religious, right? And that is because whatever the outcome, if you're religious, it's good, right? But whatever the outcome, it's either okay or bad if you're non-religious, right? So if you're religious, you die, there's God, you've been devout your whole life. Well, hey, you go to heaven, savage, right? Everything's great. If you're religious, you die, there is no God, there is no afterlife, doesn't matter anyway. So you're only on for a winner, right? Then on the non-religious side, you die, you go to heaven, God sees you and he goes, well, you didn't listen to my doctrines. By his definition, you lived a sinful life. Blah, 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 blah. Welcome to hell, demon, right? Just then drops you down, yeah? Or you die, what you expect to happen, happens. Fine. So for an average person, it's a lot safer for you in that way to say, you know, God is real. So, and when I got to that point, I was just like, and it's called something,
Pascal's wager.
Pascal, that's it, right? So I was just like, and I sat there and I was like, I'm not capable of accepting God based on that alone. Like I can't, and I think that's so fucking unbelievably selfish, right? And I think that even if there was a God, that was like, if you die and you come up here and you hadn't spent your life believing and fucking loving me, you are fucked. You are fucked. Yeah, right. So it's like it's less of a point that, like, obviously I'm a man of science. I hate the term I believe in evolution, because it's not a belief, it's just a fact, right? All that kind of stuff. But bare bones of it, I don't want to believe in a god that's like that as a thing, you know?
Okay. So you're
Because in my head, it's not worthy of the love that you're meant to give it, you know?
So what you're saying is you're an atheist when it comes to a scriptured religion, or a religion that is currently structured.
See, I couldn't even say that because I haven't read, or I don't know enough about other religions, right?
Right.
So I can only come from the point of what my family are, or have been for years, which is Christian, right? Christian Protestant. So I'm just like, I've read the Bible, right? I've read the Bible. One thing's for 100% sure: the Bible was not written by God, right? But it's the closest of what they say. What's in the Bible is gospel, right? So, and I've read it, and not a single page to me I go, I can believe that.
Okay. After the flooding hubbub, you know about the flooding hubbub, right?
The flooding hubbub.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Noah?
Yeah. Yeah. So after the flooding hubbub,
Yeah.
God was like, "Yo, I'm out. I'm out. You do you guys.
You do you, babe.
You do you." And then so let's say everything after that was written by man, right? It's clear from the Old Testament. Oh, I don't want to die. It's clear from the Old Testament.
Just a lightning bolt hits, fucking camera goes off. Yeah.
I mean, what was it? Is it Dawkins or was it Hitchens that got throat cancer?
Hitchens got throat cancer. That's what killed him. Yeah.
That sounds to me like God saying, "Shut the fuck up." Anyway.
But that's what they asked him. And they said, they were like, do you think it's God's retribution or whatever? You know? And it's like, but then it comes to the guy, if God's going to do that, why didn't you do that to him years ago?
Yeah.
Give him a whole life. Life of him to put his words out there in the world, you know, then do it.
Yeah.
Like actually, like, God is all seeing, all knowing, and all powerful. He's omnipotent and omnipotent, right? So he goes, hey, and by that logic, it's like God's an idiot because he made Hitchens in the first place.
Yeah, but he also gave us free will. That's the point.
Yeah, but that's something that they've put in the Bible because they've got to explain badness, right? It's total rubbish. If someone's all powerful, why would they make free will if on basis of they love you, right? Why would they give free will? Because they go, right, I'm giving you the ability to kill something I love. Why don't you just take that away? There's no one killing anyone. You can't argue it. You can't argue.
Yeah, what you're saying is that you're atheist towards Christianity, but that's not atheism.
No, I'm atheistic towards all religion, but the God I know most about is the Christian God.
Okay, let me posit this to you, right? Let's say you're an atheist. You can look up the definition of atheist, but I believe it's something not believing in any higher power, right?
Yeah.
Can you check the textbook definition?
Do you want me to check the definition? Yeah.
Because I don't want to be wrong on this.
Atheist, right? A person who disbelieves or lacks belief in the existence of God or gods.
Yeah. So what you're saying is you don't believe in any kind of scriptured religion. Any kind of religion with any kind of man-made faith. Is that correct to say?
Definitely don't believe in man-made faith, no.
But I mean, all faith is technically man-made.
Yeah, I don't believe that there is a power above the elements that we know already. I don't believe it.
But what about elements we haven't used yet? Or what about aliens? Or what about
I believe in aliens. To
But
not believe in
that
aliens.
could be a power that's bigger than.
To not believe in aliens is fucking nuts.
I agree, but
Aliens aren't godlike though. They may appear godlike to us when we think, but through science we'd understand them.
Okay.
But a god couldn't be understood through science.
right. So through evolution and the bacteria that came from outer space on a fucking comet or whatever, or however it developed on Earth, right? Could have come from elsewhere, theoretically, right?
Yeah.
And technically, we're all kind of stardust anyway because of how the world works, right?
Yeah.
So theoretically, do you think it's possible that aliens could have germinated us?
It's possible. 100%.
So then technically they would be our creator.
Yeah, but not our god.
How else would
be
you
our
find
creator.
God?
It'd be our
Google
creator, not our
God. Google
god.
God.
Our god. That's like saying that's like saying the Labrador in your house now. We are that Labrador's god, which is a lie. We created that Labrador through breeding.
Incorrect.
Breeding.
Because no, but we didn't. We didn't take nothing and then create wolves or dogs. Evolution.
Yeah, but neither did the fucking aliens. They took the bacteria that already existed.
Maybe they made the bacteria.
No.
Okay. Let me scratch out the.
In this argument, the bacteria is the dog, is the wolf.
Okay.
The wolf
Okay.
is the bacteria.
Okay. That's fine. See, I can change my mind. So I agree with that standpoint, right? So let's say, right, that
Yeah.
an alien civilization has been guiding us.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Right? All of our technology and our civilized sensibilities has been guided by an alien
Yeah.
of a much higher intelligence.
Yeah.
And he's figured out a way. He's figured out a way.
You're making a lot of leaps here.
Okay, I know, but still, right? It's,
Yeah.
Can you agree that this is in the realm of possibility?
You haven't finished your
So far.
So far, yeah.
Okay. What if he's found a way, right?
Yeah.
To digitally harness our free. I'm looking at myself in the viewfinder. I look like an insane man. What if he's found a way to he or she, or it, or she, or glamp, whatever, right?
Or them or they, whatever.
Whatever. What if they found a way to harness the frequencies of our minds after we die and place it in somewhere? You don't know because, like,
that's fine. What about that's wrong?
Okay, so you're agreeing to all of that?
Yeah.
Are you
What's
saying
wrong with
that's not a god?
No. Because a god isn't about your mind. A god is about your soul. There's no soul in your story. You've moved the mind.
I can't
the soul
believe.
and the mind aren't
I can't
the same
believe.
thing.
I can't believe you're an atheist that believes in a soul.
No,
What?
I don't. That's why what you're saying isn't religious based. Because you haven't mentioned a soul. So I don't know what the hell this has to do with being an atheist or being a believer.
Okay, let's say.
But if you said,
back it up.
If you had said they'd managed to remove the soul from the person, I'd be like, well, yeah, they would be a god then because you've just said the soul exists.
Okay, let's say the soul exists.
Well, if the soul exists, there is a god.
Okay.
If the soul exists, there's a god.
Okay,
if the soul doesn't exist, there isn't one.
Okay, are you saying that it's possible that the soul exists?
No.
But you can't know that.
You are completely made from your experiences and your genetics. Not by any.
Okay, that's fine. I completely agree with that, Jay.
Good.
Jason Momoa, right? You got the hair now, okay? Look. Let's say the soul didn't define who you are.
Yeah.
But you define your soul.
No.
You
You don't define your soul. You can't define something that's not there. You define who you are. It has nothing to do with your soul.
Okay, so what you're saying?
The only souls we have are in our shoes.
I got a sticker recently. Do you want to see my sticker?
Go on then.
I don't want to fuck up shit. So
It's got to reverse it, isn't it?
Right. Oh gosh. Oh
Right.
no. Oh dear. Do you see what that says?
No, I didn't actually. But
no, do you see what this says?
We be something in your speech. Be precise.
Be precise in your speech. And I think part of that is understanding who you're talking to and what their premises are. Because if I just asked, do you believe in the soul? Or what's your prerequisite for a god? Then we probably would have saved ourselves some time there. So your prerequisite for a god... Oh my god, my hair. My prerequisite for... What's your prerequisite for a god? A soul. The existence of a soul.
He's one of three, yeah.
What's the other two? Hit me.
Like, there needs to be three things that would make it so a god. And if you
trifecta.
If you eliminate any of them, then there's no god.
Okay. Hit me.
If there isn't a soul, yeah, then there is no god.
Non-falsifiable in terms of science. Non-falsifiable. Okay.
Right. There is no god if there is no soul. Right.
Okay.
No,
you realize scientifically that's non-falsifiable.
No Christian god. No Christian god if there is no soul. Right.
Okay.
Because I don't know the beliefs around souls in other religions. Right. Okay. So. Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you. So I'm just gonna
there is no heaven and hell. There is no heaven and hell. There is no God.
I disagree.
If there is no afterlife, there is no God.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not agreeing with any of these premises. I'm
no, but you hear me. Yeah, that's the second one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And third, if there is no definition of sin, there is no God.
What if there's not?
Because morality, even with religion involved, right? Because as we know, religion has caused the most amount of death in the world that there ever is, right? So when you're talking about morality's changed all the time. We used to smash each other over the head with swords, man. With some people cut people's hands off for stealing some bread. You know what I mean? But all these people still believe that they will go to heaven. Because it's in their doctrine. So sins, the definition of a sin changes as the sun goes down and comes back up again. So and it's like, but God, if God's forever and timeless, like surely his rules are the same, because the Bible never changes.
I don't understand.
Or it does, which makes it even less likely.
I don't understand where you get your premises from. Your premises.
From myself, not from anyone else.
I get it, but why?
What do you mean, but why?
But why?
Just explain why. Just explain why for the sin.
What made you? Okay, what made you think? Yeah, but you said if it blah 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 blah. Why are these criteria what you think makes the viability of a god possible?
Because they're the three pillars of why you become religious.
So,
most people came religious in the first place because they wanted to be. If they lived a good life, they wanted to know that they'd be given a great afterlife. And on the flip side of that, people wanted to know because we didn't have police, we didn't have people. People did bad shit all the time, but nothing would happen to them in life. But they could take solace. They could take solace in the fact that horrible motherfucker is going to burn forever in hell, right? So if neither of those two places exist, most people, what's the fucking point?
Okay.
What's the fucking point? Yeah.
But, okay. Would you agree? Okay,
yeah.
Let's take all of your premises as something that is needed for a god. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll concede that to you. You understand that
vital.
all of you understand that all of your premises. I hope I'm using that correctly. Sure, it's premises, right?
That sounds like you're talking about there's like actual
like a place, like a
yeah. It's just premises.
Premises, but that sounds like premises, like a singular.
All of your different. You have many.
Premise is the perfect word for what I'm after.
Premise.
Because it's a predefining
Your premise,
part.
which is multiplied by 3, yeah.
Your premise multiplied by 3.
Yeah.
Your premise 3. Okay. Your premise 3 is that all 3 of them, right, are non-falsifiable through science.
I know.
You can't prove or disprove them, correct?
Yes.
So you being a scientific man,
I choose to say you can't prove them.
you can't prove them. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. You can't prove them, which means you also can't disprove them. As
Yeah,
yet.
but that argument's shite.
What do you mean?
That's why it's why do you believe in God? Because there's no proof. Yeah, but you can't prove he doesn't exist.
No, that's
Awful.
no, but
So
that's
take your words. Take your words. It's not an argument.
No, but listen to me, right? You can't prove or disprove the existence of God, correct?
Yeah.
At this time, it's not been done.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
you can in the future, right? So therefore, the most scientific stance is to be agnostic because you don't have enough data.
No.
Explain.
Because scientifically, they deal with facts. There are no facts with God. So then the worst possible thing you could do is accept that he could exist. Because there's no evidence for him.
You could accept the theory that God doesn't exist.
There's no evidence for it.
There is no evidence. But have you not heard of the Black Swan hypothesis?
Go on.
The Black Swan hypothesis. So basically, someone posits the fact that they only ever see white swans.
Oh, you ain't ever see, but there could be a black swan somewhere.
Yeah, it's a non-falsifiable hypothesis. That's what it's called in science, okay?
Yeah.
And a scientist would never say there's no possibility of a black swan. A scientist would never say that because theoretically there could be.
Swan.
Huh?
But there's a swan.
Yeah. But you
There's not even anything close to it.
okay, are we identifying new species of animals? Yes. But they didn't exist the day before.
Yeah, but there's animals. There's nothing connecting God to us at all. Nothing.
There's nothing that says aliens exist. But you believe in them.
I know. No, I
There's
didn't believe in
zero
even the
evidence.
possibility of aliens.
There's as much evidence for aliens right now as there is for God.
But there's other planets. There's other planets which we know can hold life.
Okay.
Right? There is nothing in the world that even connects us slightly to the possibility of a God. Nothing. There isn't a white swan. Yeah? There isn't a white swan. There isn't other planets. There isn't that kind of shit to even sway you towards God.
Okay. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from, and it comes from a very sensible place. I agree, right? But what about if we discover something that hasn't existed before? And let's just say that God is a technological mastermind, right? And all of us are in a simulation like the Matrix.
Right.
Then it's just technology, right?
Yeah.
100 years ago, people didn't believe that flying was a capability for man, right?
Yeah.
And now it's something that we do on the reg.
Yeah.
But 100 years ago,
we had engineers then as well.
we didn't have the ability to fly.
Yeah, but we had the brain power to think that we wanted to.
Okay, let's take it back even further, Jay. Let's take it back to
Everything you
fucking...
say will have a correlating connection. Everything.
Let's take it back to caveman. Let's take it back to
science.
caveman, where you hit shit with a rock.
Right. Okay.
You think that Johnny Caveman goes, yo, I reckon we'll be running along on these things called wheels. And they're like, what the fuck's a wheel? And then Johnny Caveman, it goes on a car. And people are like, what the fuck's a car? And the car's a thing with an engine. What the fuck's an engine? An engine
it does, but just very, very slowly.
An engine's a thing that is powered by a bunch of mini fire explosions. What's a fire explosion? So basically, they have no frame of reference for anything else that's a frame of reference for it. But eventually, it becomes a thing.
No.
What? What do you mean no? What do you mean
Because
no?
the first caveman, he would have knocked something off. A smart caveman all cavemen had like 12 IQ, right? And then one comes along that has 13 IQ, right? and he watches a stone fall off another stone in his cave and roll down a hill. And he goes, shit, things roll down hills. Amazing, right? And it does it, but that's a physical correlation.
Okay. I think we're gonna go around in circles on this one, right?
We are.
But I'll ask you one more question, and then from there I'll make a closing statement, and you can make a closing statement, and then we can move on. And also, can I just point out, right? This is a healthy, complete disagreement of opinion.
Yeah.
But we are still talking. Yeah. And I think this is more of what the world needs, especially right now.
100%.
Can we agree on that?
I can agree on that one. Thank God.
Boom, right? Still respect each other. Well,
yeah.
He doesn't respect me, but whatever. Look,
I respect that you respect me.
That's like in Rick and Morty, where he's like, I'm sorry that you think you deserve an apology.
Yeah. What's your last question?
My last question is, would you say now, with 100% certainty, that God exists? God doesn't exist, sorry.
Would I say it now?
With 100% certainty,
Me personally.
You personally,
yes.
Would you say with 100%? That's not very scientific. All I'm saying is that's not very scientific. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, I would. You would, because all we got to do is read
The God Delusion by Richard Dawkins?
Read The God Delusion by Richard Dawkins, which I've read, and read God Is Not Great by Christopher Hitchens. Mm-hmm. And that will give you... Christopher Hitchens is a great... Those two should come as a pack, right? When you buy them, right? Because Richard Dawkins is a scientific argument of why God doesn't exist. And then Christopher Hitchens is a moral one.
Yeah.
So they're together, they are the perfect accompaniment of a trainee atheist, right? So you should just anyone out there, just go buy those books. The best thing to do isn't buy the books, get the audio books, because they're both read by both of the authors. And just listening to Christopher Hitchens talk is like ear butter. I'm telling you.
Ear butter.
Like ear butter. But that was your question. What's your closing statement? My
closing statement is your disbelief in God. Once again, I would say I'm agnostic with a heavy predisposition to God does not exist. At least not in any capacity that we understand. Right?
So you think he doesn't?
I'd sooner believe in...
You're open to be proven wrong in the future.
Because any scientist is open to be proven wrong.
Not with God.
Why not? Why is that your exception?
God is scientific.
You have no scientific
about God.
You have no scientific basis.
Just like they're not open to the possibility, of a pink octopus lady bug that controls our every thought. Because it's not fucking possible.
But bro, I am not ruling out the pink octopus ladybug.
I'm
not ruling that out either. Because I can't. It's not scientific to rule anything out with 100% certainty. We could all be in a fucking dream. We could be in a dream of a ladybug.
Even a theoretical physicist worth his salt will not believe in God.
I think you're completely wrong.
And it's literally his job to think of things that don't exist yet.
But do you understand? You know the percentage of scientists that are actually religious? It's staggeringly high.
No, total lie.
Google it.
Like
Google
people, no. I'm not talking about the facts. People talk about Einstein. People talk about Darwin. All these people, people say, Darwin on his deathbed said, "I take it all back. Evolution's a lie." Total rubbish, right? Even if he did, the early scientists that people cling on to in this argument is total rubbish because they're living in a time where if they weren't religious, it would be detrimental to their life.
I'm not talking about...
Yeah, but talk about the best scientists, not the average scientists. The best scientists in the world. The best scientists in the world, the most successful scientists in the world, are all atheists.
I bet you I can prove you wrong.
Go on then.
I'll do it for next... I'll do it for the next podcast. Write on the Trello for the next episode, and I'll come with people.
Who's the most famous theoretical physicist in the world?
Well, he's dead now.
Was.
Stephen Hawking.
There you go. Atheist.
Popular.
Yeah. And the most
So
successful.
famous.
Most successful.
In theory.
No, not in theory.
Depends
not
how
in
you do
theory,
it. It depends
because he
how you
won
do-
the most prizes.
It
He's the most successful scientist.
depends
Ever.
how you define success.
What I define success in the scientific world as in
success.
his world anyway, coming up with the most mind-blowing theoretical science that could possibly be true.
Okay, what if I could find you amazing scientists that were agnostic?
I have no doubt they're amazing, but they'd be amazing compared to me at science, but they won't be amazing compared to
Okay,
Christopher Dawkins.
so
in biology.
what's your okay? So we'll move on. But what's your barometer for an amazing scientist? What's your prerequisite?
Loads.
A Nobel Prize?
A Nobel Prize.
A Nobel Prize in science?
But that's like world-renowned fucking science
Okay.
there. Like, you know
So
what I mean?
if I can find an agnostic, you'll agree.
No, a religious scientist
Okay.
with a Nobel Prize, not agnostic.
Okay, what about agnostic? So like I said, if I said a lot of scientists were agnostic,
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm so confused.
What? I'm just saying that's not how I live. That's not how I live. They can live that if they want.
But it's not scientific
which
to
is my
say that
closing
God
argument.
doesn't exist. Okay.
Which is my closing argument.
Okay.
Believe what you want to believe, everyone. I won't hate you for it. But you may be sat there saying you're an idiot because you don't believe in God. And that is your opinion. And I'm happy to take that on the chin. But when I say I think you're an idiot, you take it on the chin too. That's it.
It's a good way to operate in all factors
You
of
know?
life, I would say.
Exactly. And don't go shouting at me and want me to die because I don't believe in what you want to believe.
And also, if
'Cause I
Jay
don't want you to
dies, he's
die.
not going to heaven, you know what I mean? Because he doesn't
Yeah.
believe, so...
Exactly. You know, I'm pretty sure that me and Satan would have a lot more in common though, so. You know what I mean? You know,
In fairness,
like-
you probably wouldn't,
like,
because Satan
if
went
you
to
got a
hell.
God, if you got a God that looks down and he goes, hey, you just fucking ate an apple I told you not to fucking eat. Here, have a period and have pain once a month for the rest of your life. And then, you know, you can have pain for childbirth as well. Don't eat that apple, bitch.
In God's defense,
That is some fucked up morality right there.
in God's defense, that was like the one rule. You know what I mean? It wasn't
That's
that
some
hard.
fucked up morality. And then to think, and then to go, right, here's 2 people, make 8 billion people.
Bit creepy.
Like, have you seen the people that are the product of incest? Have you seen them? You know what I mean? It's not a good way to go. It's not a fucking good
Not a
way to
good way
go.
to start.
You know what I mean? And if you think that you can fit every single animal on an ark in the world and then give them a partner so they can bang,
What if there was
Well,
like
you know.
triple the amount of animals?
yeah,
No, it
And
just
then-
couldn't be fucked.
and then have one man build this ark. Just wake up, people.
Wake up. But
It reminds me. It reminds me of basically. You can go online and you can watch Richard Dawkins, and he has an interview with a BBC pundit, and he asked the BBC pundits questioning his atheism, and Richard Dawkins says this statement. He says, because this man, I think he might be Muslim. I'm not sure. He says, I'm going to give you the courtesy of saying that you are intelligent enough to not believe that Muhammad rid a unicorn with wings,
road.
up and into the clouds. And the guy says, no, I wholeheartedly believe that. He's like, how can you scientifically believe that happened? If you say they don't exist. The horses with wings don't exist. Never have existed.
Anymore.
No, never have existed. Never. Didn't happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and the thing is, we're talking about, and in the Bible, with Adam and Eve and all this kind of shit, we're talking about shit that happened to their timeline only 5,000 years ago. Motherfucker, we can find dinosaur bones I think we'd find fucking bones of a shit ton of inbred children from fucking Adam and Eve. You know what I mean? Just like fuck. But yeah, if you want to believe that, you do you, babe. You do you. Don't try and force it on anyone, because I won't try and force my atheism on anyone else. You know, and don't hate me for it. That's it.
Yes. But respect to everyone and their views.
Exactly. Respect.
But respectful disagreement from Jay.
I respect you have views. I don't have to respect your views.
Yes.
If that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, so...
You respect the right to have views.
Yes.
The most non-committal statement ever said ever.
I like views, but that's what... I respect you have an opinion on something. I respect that. And I have the same with views, and they don't have to be the same, you know? You know, opinions and views are like assholes. Everyone's got one. You know? But just don't put it in my face. That's it. Don't want your asshole in my face. That is it. But now, on to a slightly happier subject for our last 10, 15 minutes. Yeah?
Yeah.
PS5, Xbox, gonna be releasing end of this year. I'm still not decided, but it may look like it's the year that I'm going back to Xbox. Because I watched the PlayStation reveal. We watched it live together. Not together, but at the same time.
Socially, digitally distanced.
And we it started, Miles Morales came on the TV. We were all, me and you started fucking rattling with excitement. And then it kind of just went downhill then.
It did.
From there into like nothingness, didn't it?
And then it came out like after the show that Miles Morales game is going to be like 10 hours long. I was like...
Yeah. And that's at max. That's like you go round, you check behind every bin. You know what I mean? Then like, if you're the kind of person that is, you know, you're just doing it for the story, you smashing that in 6-7 hours.
Yeah, legit.
You know? So it just like, and you're talking AAA fucking cost. You're talking this game is going to come out $59.99. Yeah? I'm sat there and I'm like, and this is your fucking game that you've chosen as your flagship game for your new console?
Not only that, they didn't even show any gameplay. They showed cutscene shit, but no gameplay. Yeah.
That's because it's going to look exactly like Spider-Man.
Yeah,
just the normal
just reskin Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's just going to look exactly the same. But the thing is what it's like. Imagine the Nintendo Switch, right? Here's Zelda, yeah, our flagship game, and then you got it and it lasted 5 hours. You'd be fucked right off, absolutely fucked right off, because I can do it because I know every single time they bring out a new Xbox console, there will be a Halo on that console. Most likely the launch title. Because Halo is Xbox through and through, right? And we know we're going to get a fabulous campaign. You get Master Chief, who's like one of the greatest characters in video game history, right? And the campaign's going to be at least 15, 16 hours long. And you'll be able to play it with a mate. They're all co-op.
That's just co-op, right? And most people, it's like World of Warcraft. Nope. It's like Call of Duty. Like, most people just buy it for the multiplayer anyway.
Yeah.
Because you can sink hundreds of hours into that. I have sunk hundreds of hours into that multiplayer. Just because it's fun. So value for money, it's going to be... It's almost going to be worth buying the console in terms of the amount of time you can play Halo.
Well, the thing is, even that's going out of fashion now. Because like Call of Duty Warzone is free now. They're giving it away for free because they get their money on fucking loot boxes. You don't need to sell the game, you know. So if you're going to sell a game, the selling point for a game now is its single player capacity, right? And you're making that capacity 8 hours of gameplay.
It's not ideal.
To showcase your fucking next-gen epic console, which we already know, hardware-wise, just put it down to brass tacks, isn't as powerful as the Xbox, as the new Xbox. I can't remember what it's called now.
Okay, can I
What's
just
the new Xbox called?
Scorpion or Scorpio or Xbox
The black
box?
bin looking
Yeah.
tower Xbox thing.
I prefer the. I think we might differ here, but I prefer the design of the new Xbox over the new PS5.
See, it's different, right? Because you haven't seen the website, have you?
What website?
So you can, if you when you buy a PlayStation 5, you can set up the colors.
Ooh.
So you can customize them.
Yeah.
So you can have like a red Xbox, a green PlayStation.
The thing is, my
change all the
favorite.
different change all the different colors. So for you, I 100% guess you'd get a just matte black console,
Weirdly, I might go black and blue.
black and blue. Yeah, But yeah, because the Xbox, because it's Microsoft, every year it looks more and more like a PC, doesn't it? Every single year, until eventually now it is a black tower. It looks like a PC. If you had that next to your PC, most people who didn't know what an Xbox looked like would go, "Nice PC you got there." You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And also the fact that there's going to be some crossplay and compatibility with the Xbox because it's Microsoft and Windows.
And Windows, yeah.
So that's something you need to think about if you are a PC person like me. I'm like, it makes more sense. In reality, it makes complete sense not to buy any console and just stick with the PC. But there's an ease to a console that is nice because it's always going to be games that you play on the couch with.
And the best thing about console gaming is fairness. Everyone's using the same hardware.
Ooh, you say that, but people are playing Warzone on their Xbox with like a fucking keyboard and mouse jacked in.
Yeah, but you can do that. Shit. There's nothing stopping you doing that.
True.
True. So you get like...
And stats are low in terms of people that were doing that.
Yeah, most people, they're sat there, they got exactly the same Xbox as you, exactly the same controllers, the inputs are the same, takes as long for this to get to that, everything's the same, like you go, as soon as you go on PC gaming, completely different story, people got much better PCs than you, they can react better than you, you're like, someone's there, got a 220 hertz screen, playing an FPS game against a casual guy who's just got a 30 FPS screen. And massive, you're dead before he even sees you.
Yeah, on like a massive, 40-inch curved monitor with FOV set to like 5,000, so you can see behind you.
Exactly, like all consoles, they function exactly the same. Right at the very beginning, anyway, before all the Pro edition consoles, all that kind of garbage comes out.
Yeah,
but I think that's console strength, and also what you say, just the ease of going on game controller.
Yeah.
You're away, aren't you? Just drop in, drop out kind of stuff. And also, you get the added hardware of like, it's basically a smart television at this point as well. At the same time, isn't it? Like, it'll have all the different apps, Netflix, fucking Prime, all that kind of crap on it. Just got a one-stop shop for everything.
Yeah. And potentially a Blu-ray player if you're into that. Or whatever.
Yeah. Well, if you take the ones with disc trays.
Do you reckon Xbox is going to have a digital only?
It does have no, Xbox has only released one console on it, and it's got a disc tray.
Interesting.
So, but yeah, that brings me on to the last point I wanted to discuss before we end the pod, which was we had this little bit of a discussion off camera, but when do you think the digital total takeover will take place?
In terms of just gaming or everything?
Just gaming.
Just gaming.
For this argument.
2020. No, 20.
This year, fuckers.
I reckon 2030. Completely, it's the norm.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just new, it's the norm.
Yeah. I'd say the same, which I said before. And I think because, as I said to you, our nation has a commitment to make sure that everyone has access to fiber internet, but by 2028, I think it is, so the argument of I don't have internet is irrelevant. Like you could say, I don't want to pay for internet. You'd be like, well, if you want to play games, you're gonna have to pay for internet. You know what I mean?
So logically, if we want to make a lot of money, what we should invest in right now is cloud-based storage companies and hardware storage, because that's going to be the main key to all these. People aren't going to be buying
like
Blu-rays.
I said to you, it's like by that point, if Stadia, people like Stadia anyway, like because you got PlayStation Now, we got the new Xbox X Cloud, all that kind of stuff. People like that, if they perfect their methods, because me, I'm lucky enough that I have fiber, I have 200 megabyte internet, you know. When I play Stadia and like my connection is running at its, at its medium, not even best, at its medium, so I'm getting 100 down, yeah, it is the most seamless experience ever. You know what I mean? And I understand I may be a rarity. Where in Bristol, I'm not a rarity. Most people have Virgin in Bristol. You don't. You know, but because they recommend if you got 40 down consistently, you're sorted. I don't actually believe that. I reckon you need at least 100, right? But that is fine. That is enough, you know, and it works amazingly well. And as we've spoken before, 5G is much faster than my home internet connection.
Yeah.
If you get 5G everywhere, it even eliminates the people that say I don't have internet at home, because they do have internet at home. And what they can do is they go, well, when you want the game, just tether for a while, download it, because by 2030, everyone's going to have unlimited call packages like me and you do, you know? And they go, fine. And it downloads in like a second because of 5G or 6G by that time. So fucking fast, it downloads in a blink of an eye, you know?
It's scary times. But the thing is, are we gonna shift in terms of the amount of data that producers can feasibly give to the consumer? So by that I mean, so let's say Cyberpunk 2077, right? I reckon that game, which is coming out later this year, is like going to be a masterpiece, right? Visually, I reckon that game's going to be 100 gigs plus.
No.
You don't think?
No, I don't think it will be.
This can be the first on podcast bet.
Yeah, I reckon it's probably going to be around the 75, 80 mark.
I reckon over 100.
Over 100.
Okay, so if it's below 100, you win.
If it's over 90, you win the bet. If it's under 90, I win the bet.
I don't want you giving me an easy out here. You know what I mean?
All right, if it's over 100. If it's over 100, you win. Under 100, I win.
Okay. We're not including DLC, so base package.
Just base package. The day one download.
Yeah.
Day one download of the game, how big it will be.
I'm going to go, so over 100. Over 100.
Over 100.
So
right.
if over 100, I win. Under 100, you win.
Okay, cool.
Oh dear. What's the
What
bet?
do we win? What do we win?
Is it honor?
Honor. I reckon it's an honor bet, yeah.
Is it a double challenge bet?
Double challenge, yeah. So that week, if you win, like you get to do a double challenge on the person.
Yeah.
So what's your challenge this week?
4 times exercise and cook every day.
Every day for dinner?
Yes.
Yeah. And you got to document that shit. I want pictures.
It's fair.
Right. And I want you get your girlfriend to film you cooking.
Because I can't be trusted, apparently.
All right?
Yeah.
And mine is that do the same thing, basically exercise 4 times a week, but do strength exercises.
Yeah, no walking or some shit like strength.
And no milk in my coffee.
No or tea. Don't you fucking.
Yeah. So no milk in my hot beverages.
Yeah, no added milks basically.
No added milk other than the milk I gotta do for my diet. Yeah. So cool. But I hope everyone enjoyed the podcast. Went a little bit deep in the middle there.
We're getting real deep recently. Hopefully, maybe we'll have a light podcast next episode, or lighter.
Yeah. I have a lighter podcast.
Yeah.
You know, we're in dark mode. We need to put light mode back on for a bit. You know what I mean? Everyone loves dark mode at the moment. But yeah, so thank you very much for watching, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. And I've been Jay.
I've been Zach.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.